But hey, guys, welcome to another episode of Trust Sports. The boys are in the building. What's good, my guy?
Leak, what's up, man? Super Bowl week.
Super Bowl week.
Lot of stuff to talk about today, other
Yes,
than
sir.
Super Bowl week. So it's gonna be a fun one.
Yeah, man. Hey, I've been getting asked, who do you got win the Super Bowl? Do you care? Do you want to
Mhm,
watch it? What's
mhm.
everything that's involved in the Super Bowl? I feel like this is the most dramatic Super Bowl I've seen in a long time of everything surrounding it. Like that kind of, actually the Chiefs have been doing that for a while now, but like it's just so much around it this year. But I think we just gotta get right to it. Who do
Yeah.
you have winning this year? You want to start with me or you want to start?
Man, you can start. You lead us off.
Mine's short and sweet. I'm going straight with the conspiracy theory. I think Taylor Swift's win the Super Bowl. I think that's what it's going to be. And I think that
Mhm.
if you're seeing all the media day stuff, that it just seems like Patrick Mahomes is being very different than what he's ever been. Like I feel like Patrick Mahomes has been very much like that guy that's like, hey, what's up? Da, da, da. This guy is taking selfies. He's talking shit to the fans. He's like, he
Yeah,
has this in the bag in his mind. And there's no way, just him as himself, athletic ability, what this team is, we got this. It's hey, bro, the universe is already into this. Like you see, like his dad just got arrested with DUI.
yep,
It's just it can't go any other way. And to put this on the shoulders of Brock Purdy is like it's not. It's unfair. It's unfair to
it
do.
is.
So that's where I'm sitting at right now.
Look, man, you're right. And honestly, the only thing that scares me, and this is how I rock with betting. It's how I rock with who I'm like picking. Whoever, like, if the general public has a strong opinion on one side, go the other way.
Yeah, yeah,
Every time I'll do that. It seems like you go down and walk on the street, ask 20 people who they think will win the Super Bowl. I would guarantee at least 15 of the 20 are going to say the Chiefs. Like and
yeah.
exactly what you just said. It's like it's Mahomes, it's Taylor Swift, like everything. It's their year. That's kind of giving me a little reservation. So I'm
Yeah.
kind of in the spot where I don't want the Niners to win, but I'm kind of leaning that way.
Okay.
And maybe this is my way of putting a little jinx on them because I said the same thing with the Bills. I said the same thing with the Ravens. And then we came on here the next day and we're like, it's Patrick Mahomes. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
So
yeah.
it sounds weird to me that, and like, am I really going to pick Brock Purdy over Patrick Mahomes? Like, come Monday morning and then the Chiefs win again. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? So I'll stick with the Chiefs, but I
Okay.
have a real uneasy feeling that it seems like a lot of people are thinking like we are. Like, nah, man, we saw what the Chiefs did to the Ravens, saw what they did to the Bills. It's the second greatest quarterback of all time. Like going against Brock Purdy, like it can't be any other way. So
Yeah.
that
I mean,
scares me.
there's just it's just like I think everyone this is where I can hit on the head of betting against Mahomes. I think everyone has gotten to the point where they're just like, I'm not betting against Mahomes. I've done it before. I've done it probably 10 times. I'm just not gonna do it anymore. I'm going Patrick Mahomes. Like
And
that's what a lot of people are going.
that's a good point. And that's why, again, like Vegas always wins, right? The house always wins. Why are
Yeah.
the Chiefs still underdogs? You know what I mean? Like if everyone's betting on the Chiefs, they are still
Yeah.
underdogs. There, I think it's a
Yeah.
point and a half now, but
Hmm.
it's like, all right, well, why?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but I think like I don't know when it boils down to it too. I know we talked about it a little bit last week. Dude, this Chiefs defense is underrated as hell. Like they are a
For
top
sure.
three defense in the
For
league,
sure.
and I will have to look back at the Niners schedule. But like off the top of my head, two games come to mind was I think the Browns game midway through the year. Now, granted, I think McCaffrey got banged up. It was rainy. It was a shitty day in Cleveland, but the Browns won. Niners put up
Hmm.
17 points. And then we just saw on Christmas Day against the Ravens elite defense, Purdy threw like 4 or 5 interceptions.
Yeah.
I think Darnold came in and threw one too. Like
Yeah.
that game was over quickly. So that's another thing. Like you give Andy Reid, Steve Spagnuolo, that Chiefs defense, that Chiefs offense 2 weeks to prepare.
Yeah.
Like how can you bet against them?
I just think that you said all year. Here's the recipe. Get to Brock Purdy. You get to Brock Purdy, you win the game. Your defense is good enough to where you could stop the run. Like and the
It
run
is.
isn't just the run. It's Christian McCaffrey, right? Like this guy
Mhm.
is a fucking animal. And I texted you today because I was watching him during the media day stuff, and I was like, yo, not for nothing. The only thing I'm happy for the 49ers is that Christian McCaffrey did not stay with the Panthers and
Yeah.
waste his career off because he was starting to
Yep.
get banged up. He was starting to get hurt a lot. He was just Carolina was never going to have a chance to get back to Super Bowl ever again in his
No.
career there. So I'm
No.
glad for his health reasons that he's out there, right? But like I said, if you just get to Brock Purdy, he even says in the thing, he's like, well, I have guys like Christian McCaffrey. He doesn't even talk about himself. He just
Yeah,
naming
you
all
know.
like he knows, like I get the ball out quick, get it to Debo
Mhm.
Samuel, get it to Ayuk, get it out there to those guys, and we win the game. If
Yeah.
I don't fuck up, he doesn't have to play. Mind you, it's not to say like he has to play an amazing fucking game. All he has to do is just not fuck up. He could just be average. 10 yards dump, 10 yards dump. The J McCarthy like
Yeah.
playbook, right? Just 10, 10, 10, and march down the field. That defense has to play its best game possible against everyone else besides Brock Purdy. Just play amazing defense to those wide receivers. You have to respect them, and you have to respect the
Mhm.
run game. Because no matter what, everyone's talking about the offensive sides. I think, in my opinion, it's going to be a
Yeah.
defensive game. What
I agree.
defense is a takeaway? One takeaway, and you win the
Mhm.
game, in my opinion. If you have one takeaway, you win that game.
I agree. I think that's the one thing. Like, I don't know if I'll be betting aside. I like the under
I'm not
regardless because
betting.
I agree. I think it'll be defensive game. But that's a good point. And again, if it comes down to that one mistake, who's going to
Yeah.
make it? Not Patrick
Yeah.
Mahomes. It
Yeah.
won't be.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you bring up an interesting point. Like we know what the Niners do. It's look, you take if McCaffrey like gets hurt in the first quarter, that game might be like 30-7. Like
Yeah.
they're done.
Yeah. Like you
You
said,
got the secondary.
you take one piece away.
Yeah.
Like when Debo went down, versus
Yeah.
who did he go down
Against the
versus? Like
Packers.
the Packers, it was scary.
Yes, it was.
So
It was. And I think, look, McCaffrey's one of those guys, like, to put it in
he's such
NBA
a
terms,
freak.
right? Like a dude who averages 30 a night, you're not going to
Yeah.
hold to 10, but you can try to limit him, like maybe get 22, 25. Like just make sure that we double him. Stack the box. Trust your corners against that secondary and
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
pressure on Purdy, like you said, in those passing situations. Again, this Chiefs secondary, most of all, is extremely underrated. I think they play really good physical defense
Yeah.
that can match the Niners' offensive style. But I think you're right. Like it's a lot of Purdy talk, a lot of the
Yeah.
Niners' offense for good reason. It's all Mahomes. But another thing too, dude. Like I told you this against the Lions, Niners defense. What we thought of them in like let's say week 6 this year,
Yeah.
it's not the same Niners defense. Like they were
Yeah. No.
carved up against Jordan Love and the Packers.
Yeah.
They were carved up against Jared Goff and the Lions. Again, what do you think Mahomes is going to do? I know
Yeah.
he doesn't have the
Yeah.
weapons necessarily that
Yeah.
those two teams do, but I mean, you're talking like Jordan Love's here. Here's Jared Goff. Like Mahomes is through the fucking roof now.
But that's what
So
scares me is that weapons. The weapons is the only thing that scares me. Yeah, you have Patrick Mahomes, but like this defense can easily monopolize an entire team. Like that to me,
yeah,
I think that like Fred Warner's gonna play his best game. Like you're going against Fred Warner, you're going against Boza, you're going against these guys who know how to show up in big time moments and will make few mistakes. It's just again, I think in my opinion, when I'm looking at it as its totality, I think that it's going to be hard either way for both defenses, but I think for Mahomes, it may just be a little bit harder. But that's when Mahomes, being Mahomes, who he is, can excel
exactly.
still, right? Like he has that athletic ability to step up to the situation whereas Brock Purdy just won't have that to get that edge. But it's like you have to have Travis Kelce playing his probably best fucking game
Yeah.
of his life again. You have to
Yep.
have the running game. You have to have Pacheco stepping up. Pacheco, you've been here before. In my
Yeah.
opinion, on a harder scale. You played the Eagles when the Eagles were fucking an amazing defense and you stepped up. Do it again.
His rookie
Why
year.
not do it
Yeah.
again?
Yep.
Why not do
Yeah.
it
His
again?
rookie year, his first Super Bowl. Yeah. Do it
Exactly.
again.
Exactly. Do it again. Ball the fuck up. Make your name known. No one knew who the fuck you were. Yeah, I mean the famous line from Tone is who the fuck is Pacheco? And
I know.
you know who the fuck Pacheco is now, right? Like
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like that kid is a baller, but I think it's gonna be harder for them. But it's just I think it's gonna be a defensive game. That's one of the best Super Bowls in my opinion. Like when it's a defensive game, like this reminds me like the old Steelers. Like it just reminds me of these Super Bowls when we grew up, we were watching. But we said it, bro. Like when we watched the Lions game, we were like, yo, the Lions could fucking beat Kansas City. And they
Yep.
had weapons.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, you can't write off the 49ers going against Kansas City, but it's gonna be a tough one.
No, and I think too, like, because that's the thing that kind of gives you a little bit of pushback is like, other than Pacheco and Kelsey, what do the Chiefs have? Bro,
Tony.
we were saying the same thing last year. Like this suit, yeah. He's playing for the Niners. The Niners are hoping he plays.
Yeah, right.
But we were saying realistically, we were saying the same thing last year.
You're
Like when it was
right.
Eagles Chiefs, it was like, well, who does Mahomes have to throw to? It was
You're
Sky
right.
Moore, it was Juju, like nobody important. Like it's the
Yeah.
same thing, and they put up 38. Now they're not going to do that against the Niners, but again, man, like it's money Mahomes.
Yeah, damn, that's fucking crazy. That's a great point, Brody. You're right. I'm excited to see it. The one thing I have issue about with the Super Bowl, right? To be honest, NFL, you did an amazing job with the Super Bowl, like the prep beforehand, having what's his name like called out because they're in Vegas. Like, did you see that? He did like the it's time. Like the guy that's all like the
Yeah,
UFC
yeah, yeah,
boxing shit like that. Like that guy. Like he fucking killed it, right? The one thing that it's crazy to me. Have you been seeing the commercials for Gronk's kick?
yeah,
Like,
constantly.
but isn't it crazy to me that they're saying you can bet on Gronk to miss it or hit it in the at, like Super Bowl halftime, whatever it may be, for him to make
Mhm.
it or miss it or make it, and you can bet on that. What is sanctioning that? Like if I'm like if I put 20 mil on Gronk to miss it, and I go to Gronk, I'll give you 5 mil to miss it. Gronk's
Yeah,
gonna like what is sanctioning him not to make that like that kick? Like how are we able to bet on this in the NFL, the biggest stage ever? Gronk to either make or miss it because last year he
yeah,
missed it.
he missed it.
Like, what is sanctioning this? I was like, this is not blowing anyone's mind that this is possible. And I was like, whatever, bro. Like, let's see what
When
happens.
when does he do it? Because obviously last year, like I didn't
I don't know.
fucking at halftime, I was blacking out because it's the Eagles. But like, did they show it at halftime? Like when does that happen?
Dog, I don't remember. I don't remember ever seeing it. I don't know if it's halftime or it's like pre-game. I don't know when he does it, but like I don't understand how you're able to bet on that. Like how they were able to sanction this to the SEC, be like, yeah, we're betting on whatever it is, whoever it goes to
Not
bet
only
on that.
that, but bro, the whole commercial, the point of the commercial is to bet on it. It's like bet. You got to bet. It's like a 20 million. What? It's like if you get it right or you enter in a pool to like win that
It's
20 million or 10
it's
million or
nuts.
something. But
It's
fuck,
nuts.
man,
Yeah, that's
crazy.
a weird thing. But speaking of the NFL sucking,
Yeah.
I think we're at the point now in which we have to acknowledge why the NFL is just not a global sport. This for a multitude of reasons, right? But I truly think that like Roger Goodell and them are just trying shit to try shit, and we're just so outdated. Like when you look across like the plethora of sports and how they're able to cross over like the NBA, how they did everything with like having Jordan go over there to like market to Paris, to market over there, and like we're getting athletes sent over to us. It's just like I don't think it's possible for the NFL to do anything like this. And it's a multitude of levels in which I'm just like, I think the NFL just needs to take what it is. Stop trying to build the company up because you're going to start ruining the company. You already are. You're ruining the business by like everything becomes soft. The sport has changed so much. It's not what it used to be. And right down to the Pro Bowl. I mean, you only watched it. Let's be honest. You only watched the Pro Bowl on Instagram.
I don't need. I before you texted me about it, I didn't know it was going on at all.
Exactly. I didn't
So
know.
yeah,
No one has watched it. No one watched it live. They just watched it
no,
on Instagram. The clips.
yep,
That's
a
it.
couple clips.
Like it's become a point of like the NFL just doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. Go back to
Mhm.
how it used to be. Pay these players a fucking hit and do what we used to do, or just don't have it at all. The NBA figured it out. They figured out the fucking
Yeah,
All-Star break. They figured out the fucking in-season tournament. It was amazing. NFL, do fucking something. I don't want to watch flag football. I don't want to watch 7-on-7s. I don't want to watch Eli Manning. Like, it's a waste of time. Like I just
yeah.
don't. They don't get it, bro.
No. Yeah, either look, get rid of it. Like the one thing I guess I'm not going to say I like because again, I didn't tune in. I didn't make it, a goal of mine to watch it live. Like I understand what they do and what's cool like having the dodgeball. Like yeah, you know what? I
Yeah,
want to see Micah Parsons, Tyreek Hill, like the best athletes in the world play dodgeball. Like that's fucking
yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. That's true.
The QB like precision things, like that's fun. Like you could
Your
tell the
boy
guys
looks
are out there.
bad.
Yeah, he didn't give a fuck, bro. The
Oh, now you
amount of
don't give
like
a fuck.
I wanted to say to you because I knew this was going to come. All the comments of the Eagles fans being like, "Oh, he can't even hit a moving target for 5 yards. Like we should trade him." He did also have a nice dime to CD Lamb in that Pro Bowl
Hey,
game.
I
Little,
know you
little
saw
future
that.
connection, little future connection to Philly. But
Other way.
yeah, but no, I mean, I like get rid of it. Like this has been a joke for years now. Even when they had the pads on, it was becoming a joke. So like
Yeah,
just get rid of it. Like if you want to name a Pro Bowl team, like name guys who made the Pro Bowl, I
yeah,
guess you can do that. But it's even like it seems like half the guys that get named don't play in it because either they're in the Super Bowl, they have to have an offseason surgery. Some of the guys don't even want to fucking be there. Like your quarterbacks, like Gardner Minshew's a Pro Bowl
Minshew.
quarterback. Last
Like,
year was
I
Tyler
saw that.
Huntley. Like
Yeah,
Lamar was out for what, 6 games maybe, and Tyler Huntley was a fucking Pro Bowl player. Like that's not
yeah.
even nobody even know who Tyler Huntley is.
Where
You know
was
what I mean?
Lamar?
So
Lamar wasn't there?
Lamar was hurt last year. Remember for like the last
No, I'm
four or
saying
five
now,
games.
this year.
I don't know. I guess he just didn't want to go there.
Damn,
I don't
I
know.
get it.
I don't know if he got. I mean, if he didn't get voted in, that's ridiculous that the
Yeah,
MVP
there's
didn't
no
make the
way.
Pro Bowl. But I would
Yeah.
guess that he was probably just like, fuck it. Either I'm be at the Super Bowl or I'm not fucking. I'm not doing it. And I don't blame him at all.
What the
But it's
fuck,
just
bro?
like at back. I mean, to the global point, I mean, it does kind of feel like everything's forced. They just announced week 1, like the Eagles will be playing somebody in Brazil,
How do you feel
which is
about that?
cool. I think it's cool. I've heard a couple different things. Technically, it's a home game for us, so
Yeah,
like you take that away from the link. I mean, you still get 8 home games. I think for me, like it's going to be really exciting the week or two leading up to the NFL year, like knowing our first game is a Friday night, like in Brazil. Like those atmospheres are
true.
fun. Under the lights, like kick off the season. So I really don't have a problem with it. I think it's cool. I think they should try to do more things like that because what I don't like that they do are like the London and Germany games in the middle of the season. Like you do kind of fuck teams over. Like the week before having to go over there, and then the week after. Like at least the Eagles are going to Brazil, which is what like an hour or two time difference. It's not coming off of a short week because the season hasn't started yet. And when you come back, like they give you an extra day or two to like come back before week 2 gets started. So honestly, I would like that. Like have the week 1 kickoff kind of be like different areas. Because also like the 9 o'clock, like 9 a.m. games, 10 a.m. games on the East Coast, 6 a.m., 7 a.m. on the West Coast, like you
Yeah,
kind of forget about it if it's not your team. So
yeah.
it doesn't really, I don't know how much it's important to football fans here to really watch it. But in terms of the Eagles playing in Brazil, I think it's cool.
I think it's cool all around just to be in Brazil for them to like. I'm sure they'll go out probably 2 weeks early and just be
Oh,
out there
yeah.
practicing and shit like that. For me personally, I would say no. Like, I don't want my team going out there because no matter what, it's going to take 3 weeks to recover. Like, let's be honest. You're taking 3 weeks to recover. These guys are going out there, hanging out, they're partying, they're doing whatever the fuck they want to do.
Yeah.
They're with their families. It's going to take 3 weeks to get back into regular mode again. It's going, that's going to happen, right? But I think it's cool. But it's like, why? Like, you know what I mean? Are we just gonna start picking
Yeah. No,
destinations?
yeah.
Like, I get it. Like, let's just start. Next is Fiji. Next is fucking Barbados. Like, you know what I mean? We're just going to Jamaica. Is like, you know what I mean? We're just gonna start picking locations to just get it. I mean, it is working because I'm starting to see like when I watch like I watch a lot of like UK like streamers and UK like YouTubers. They're rocking like Jaguars
Yeah.
gear. Like, because Jaguars are
Well,
so
yeah.
over there
Yeah.
all the time. You know what I mean? So like, I see them wearing Jaguars hats. I'm like, what the fuck? And it's like, oh shit, like the Jaguars are over there a lot. Like they play over there. And I was like, it is work. It does work. It
The
does work.
stadiums are packed. Like it
Yeah.
is cool to see like those crowds like with different, jerseys on. But I mean,
If they treat it like soccer, what I mean, like if they treat
mhm.
this game, you start seeing the fireworks, like soccer games. You start seeing the fireworks in the crowd, the red fucking
Yeah. Yeah.
smoke and shit like that. America, we can't compete. We gotta step our shit up
Yeah.
and get like that because that's the atmosphere. The players are like, this is where the fuck I want to play. Let's be honest. Every football fan's like, I want to play where the soccer stadiums are at because those
Yeah.
guys go fucking crazy. And not for nothing. Next, what is it? In the next the next World Cup is at fucking MetLife. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's
Yeah. The
crazy. Like
finals in here. Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be nuts, bro.
Yeah, I think honestly, like long-term goals for the NFL is to get a team overseas. Like we know it's going to happen, whether or not they're going to take a team now, like the Jaguars, who play there every fucking year, and put them
Yeah.
there, or they're going to have an expansion team. Like it's going to come in the next, I don't know how long, but it'll be like we'll be able to see it. Like I don't think it's
Oh yeah.
far off. And number two, like somebody brought up this point I saw on Twitter, I think, was we have kind of the uneven game schedule to where every other year you either get one more home game or one more away game. What if they're kind of making it like now you get 8 home games, you get 8 road games, and you get one overseas game? Like
I'm not
that's
mad at
that's
that.
just what it is. So like
Yeah.
I think that'd be fine. But it kind of seems like it's a little bit random. Like it's a little bit random who goes and plays. I'm sure there's like details behind it. Like I don't think the Eagles haven't played overseas since like I guess 2018. I think they play the Jags in London.
Has
So
Dallas ever been overseas?
hey, I don't know. That's what I mean. Like if not, then now we're just kind of picking and choosing. But yeah, I don't know. I think overall, like it's cool. It'll be a cool game. Brazil, I feel like is a cool location to do it too.
Oh wait, the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, we played the Jaguars in London in
Yeah,
2007.
yeah. The London
Yeah,
Jaguars.
the London Jaguars. Hey, I get what you're saying. I just don't want my team to have to deal with that jet lag,
Yeah.
whatever it may be for 3 weeks coming out.
And that's what I
Off.
mean. Like as an Eagles fan, if that's your road game, I'm taking that because again, Brazil is like a time zone difference of you going to Seattle right now.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want London. Like if that takes place of a London game in the middle of the season, oh fuck yeah.
yeah. I'd be tight. I'd be tight. I get what you're saying. All right, next in Philly sports, we have. Do you have anything else on the NFL?
No, no, I think that's
Predictions
it.
are in. You got Kansas
Yeah,
City winning.
I guess we both got Chiefs.
Chiefs to win. Okay. Prove us wrong. Because if you prove wrong, you gotta get on your knees and suck Brock Purdy's dick. You just have
Well, no, I'm
you have
not gonna
to.
be doing all that.
You have to, bro.
I have to.
You've been dissing my boy. I'm telling him pull
What?
up in fucking Philly, bro.
Yeah, tell him to pull up in Philly because he still can't win in Philly. He'll pretend his arm's hurt again.
It never happened. Hey, he got the bowl.
Yeah,
That's all that matters. Um,
yeah,
so Philly right now is in distress. Philly
of course.
fans, I'm hearing. It doesn't even matter. There could be no
Yeah,
foot sports on. And Philly fans in distress,
just when you think there's a little glimmer of hope, nope,
right?
not
This
allowed.
it's the podcast curse, bro. We just
Yep.
moved to being basketball fans, and bang, season ending with Joel Embiid having to get surgery. It's not season ending, but at this point, I was talking to someone at work. I'm not the biggest basketball fan, but I was like, "What does this mean for the Sixers?" And he pretty much was like, "There's no way they hold on. Like they won't be able to hold on for Joel Embiid to come back from injury. Your best bet is to play things out, wait until the
Yep.
summer." He's under the impression keep Joel Embiid. We have more cap space. You're going to pay Maxi more cap
Yeah.
space. Go out there, get us another all-star. We need one more. Give
Yeah.
us one more year. One more year.
I
What do you
agree.
want? Because one more year has turned into 15, 20 years of trusted process. So
Well, the process, that's gone.
it's
That's
gone.
that
Yeah, yeah,
that's gone. Um,
yeah.
this is fucking again like welcome to being a Sixers fan. This is what it's all about. You got heartbreak. Luckily for you, you got your heartbreak out of the way in February. Normally, we've had to
Oh, yeah.
deal with this in May in the second round
Yeah,
of
yeah.
playoffs or whenever it is. Um, I think I agree. So you're right. Technically, it's not season ending. The last I heard is that they're going to reevaluate it in 4 weeks. It's at least going to be 2 months. Like it's to me, it's going to be at least an 8-week injury. And no, I mean, look at how they played this year without Embiid. Look at this past week. Like they got smoked last night against Dallas, and it was a game for a little while. And I think the Mavericks ended up winning by like 15.
Yeah.
I love Maxi to death, but he's just like right now, like the supporting cast isn't fully there for
Yeah.
them to really do anything. It's a unique spot because right now you're still the 4th or 5th seed in the East, and like realistically, if you can convince yourself Embiid comes back, you're going to make a move to add somebody. But this always felt like a gap year. Like even before Embiid's injury, Daryl Morey had said, we're not going to go out and like trade for an all-star caliber player. Like if anything, we'll get another role player, maybe another scorer off the bench. But this felt like a year of, let's get Maxi to that elite 2 status. Let's try to keep Joe healthy. And he was having an unbelievable, like he was having an MVP year.
Yeah.
And, next, like this offseason, you get Tobias Harris off the books. You get a couple other guys off the books to where you will have room for another max contract. And whether that be a free agent or in the NBA, we see it all the time. Guys are just forcing their ways out. Maybe somebody's unhappy in the offseason. They go, you know what? I want to play with Joel and Maxey right now. Like
Yeah.
they've been the
Yeah.
two hottest players in the world. Like if that's the case, I think they're reevaluating in 4 weeks. Embiid coming back, they're reevaluating the team. If the
Yeah.
Sixers are the 7th seed, and like your boy said, and I agree with them, I don't know if they're going to be able to even make the playoffs, or if they do, it'll be that play-in like 7 to 10 seed.
Yeah.
If they reevaluate and they go, yeah, this team, like even adding Embiid, because if they can't hold on without him, they're not a championship level contender.
Mhm.
Don't force him back, because
Yeah.
honestly, I'd
Yeah.
rather him be fine for the next 2-3 years than the rest of this year, which the Sixers had kind of led us to believe this was going to be a gap year either way.
Really?
Yeah. Because
I feel
it was the Tobias contract. It was like you brought in Nick Nurse, you're developing his system. Again, Maxey had a gigantic leap last year, even bigger leap this year. So like you were still kind of figuring out where was he as a player. I think it's clear now that he's an all-star. He's an all-star caliber player. So now to me, that shows them, all right, we have the best player in the world when he's healthy. We have an all-star caliber player in Maxey. Go get a big 3 that fits this system. We have a coach that has won a title just 4 or 5 years ago. Like, let's go really fucking attack this thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think they'll reevaluate the knee in 4 weeks. Realistically, he'll probably be able to play in 6 weeks. But if the Sixers aren't there, there's just no point in forcing him back.
Okay. Damn. Will he ever not? Will he ever be healthy enough to get to a point in which that guy, whoever you bring in, who would be a guy in which you would can see coming in? Like what type of all-star would you want?
I would have to look. I'd have to look at who is a free agent who might cause some trouble.
Mhm.
I say trouble, I don't know. It's going to be somebody who wants to win. And look, I
Yeah.
joke around all the time with Vaughn, and I doubt it happens. But look, let's see how it plays out with the Phoenix Suns and Kevin Durant. I mean, he's constantly talking up Joel Embiid. He's kind of in the
Yeah.
back end of his career,
Yeah.
and they put together this big three in Phoenix, kind of like they did with Brooklyn. Like if that shit doesn't work out, KD's thinking, yeah, I don't have many years left. Joe doesn't have many years left.
Yeah.
Maybe force away there. That's a pipe dream. But I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. But truthfully, I feel bad for Embiid. Like, yeah, for fans it sucks, and for the team it sucks. But like, I was seeing a different Embiid that was buying me into the Sixers because I could say honestly, as much as I love him, you can tell he was playing for the MVP the last 3 years, and it's
Yeah.
fine. Like he was dominating. But then when it came to the playoffs, it was almost like, what is he out of gas? Is he not fully healthy because he put everything into the regular season, which is fine, but like that's why he was doing it. To me, this year felt more like Embiid was like, look, I got my MVP. I need a ring now. Like I know I need to win. If I don't make a conference finals, if I don't even make a finals, I'm never going to be put in the all-time greats, as talented as I am. So I just saw like a different mentality from him. He sat some games when he was a little iffy on playing because it seemed like they were like, yeah, we need you healthy for the playoffs. Fuck the regular season. So for this to happen, I just feel bad for him, man. Like he's got to be just heartbroken.
Does the come into play of him being out of fucking shape?
Yeah, that's the other thing too. I mean, say he comes back in 2 months, like it's going to take him a good month and a half
Yeah.
to really ramp up. And at that point, you're talking first or second round of playoffs, where if you are the 6th seed or 7th seed, like you have to play a play in, and then now you're playing a top seed like the Bucks.
Yeah.
So, I mean, are you really going to be able to do anything? And if it's going to create more harm than good at the end of the day, like don't even waste next year Embiid with what you feel like could be this year.
So you at that point you're saying get rid.
Not get rid, sit him. I'm saying don't bring him back. Don't force him back this year to where he could like re-injure something or hurt him long term. Focus on next year with Embiid. Don't even bother bringing him back because if you can't win a
But
chip, then what?
you're about to you're just hitting the halfway point though.
Yeah, yeah, you are.
But
But again,
you agree with my boy that's saying like no matter what they're not going to be able to they won't be playoff bound at waiting for him pretty much.
it's gonna be tight.
Okay.
Like them in a playoff spot's gonna be tight. And truthfully, if they are in a spot to where like they are fighting for a playoff spot, I wouldn't bring him back.
Yeah, yeah.
Because look, at the end of the day, like hate to say, I'm not playing for the playoffs at this point. I know the Sixers haven't gotten anywhere necessarily,
Yeah.
but that's the goal. Like I'm not going to bring back my franchise player who just had knee
Yeah.
surgery and could risk him missing the first half of
I
next
hear you.
year because we may get out of the first or second round. It's
I
going to
hear
be a
you.
lot harder road, but I wouldn't force him back. I think you got to look at long term
Okay.
more versus the short term.
I hear you. I hear you.
But
Actually, I was at Hookah Lounge and I was watching the Knicks versus LA on
yeah, yeah,
Saturday. Yo, the Knicks are for real, man. Like they're a good
yeah, they
team.
look
Like
all right.
it's all dependent on right. I mean, that kid from Villanova, like, I
Yeah.
forgot about him. I was like, holy fuck, bro, he is disgusting. And it was the first game I was like, you know, I'm just gonna watch like this game. And it was fucking amazing. Like it was my first time watching basketball in so long that I was like,
Hmm.
all right, I gotta get back on the train. I'm just being a hater. I'm just not watching it because I never like would sit down and watch a game. But every night I should look out for what games are good tonight just to watch it. Um,
Yeah.
but I did now understand why people complain about LeBron being such a bitch because every foul, every call, he just whines and does cry. He is a crybaby for sure,
He is.
but he still is the GOAT, bro. Like you just see him
Yeah.
being able to just do whatever like, he doesn't. He's like men around boys. Like it's not even fair, bro. He's a
Still.
man around boys, so it's like it's crazy. Yeah, it's still surprising.
It is crazy, man. The Knicks are, dude, they got a couple of dudes from Villanova. And I swear,
Yeah,
every year, because I grew up a Villanova basketball fan, they were just the area team. Every year, I'm
yeah,
like, why are these Villanova like guards going undrafted? Why are they not really like getting a shot? Like at the least, you know they're gonna play hard. You know they know how to play team
yeah,
ball. They're gonna play whatever role you want them to fit in. And
yeah.
here are the Knicks. I think it's Brunson, Josh Hart, and
That's right. Yeah,
they might have DiVincenzo now too. But like they just are loading up on Villanova dudes, and it's paying off.
they figured it out when they were at Nova, got a fucking championship together, so they know how
Yeah.
to fucking
And
win. I was like, yo,
and
he is
exactly.
nice, bro. He's
He
fucking
is.
nice. I was like, he's fucking throwing shit up. I was like, all right, bro, I respect it. I like it a
Yeah.
lot. Um, moving on to the new hires around the league. We had a lot of new hires go down. Fuck Dan Quinn. Fuck you
Yeah.
for dipping out, going right to Washington.
To a
Uh,
rival.
and going out the way you went out, bro. Fuck that shit. You should have took one more
Mhm.
with you and packed his suitcase as well. But what are your thoughts around the league? You have what's his name? Kingsbury as well, right?
Yeah. So the Kingsbury one league is the interesting one.
Yeah.
So Kingsbury last year, I believe it was the OC, or he worked with Caleb Williams and USC in some
Hmm.
capacity last year. And now it starts a speculation because here we were this time last week, and the Raiders had announced that they hired Cliff Kingsbury as their OC. Now all of a sudden he
Yeah.
left and is joining Washington. And now the conspiracy is, well, Washington's got the second overall pick. They would have the bullets in the chamber to trade up for the number one overall pick and bring in Caleb Williams. I have a take on that, but like, do you think there's any smoke to the fire? Do you think they're bringing him in because they feel like they can get Caleb Williams, or do you think it's just a matter of, look, he just took the better deal?
I think he just took the better deal and backed out. I think he's hearing that like it's pretty much a restructure going on and in Washington. Knew everything, right? You had the the new owner, you have the new coaching staff, you have everything kind of being brand new. That is a perfect opportunity for him to come in and step into. You have Dan Quinn, who's been a coach somewhere else, so I'm sure he knows his coaching style and allowing him to have free range. He also knows he's a head coach who isn't an offensive coordinator at heart, who's just a defensive guy at heart. So
Yeah.
that as well gives you more autonomy as an offensive coordinator, right? When your head coach isn't just I need to call the plays, isn't like a McCarthy, right? Like the guy who thinks he
Mhm.
can run the show, like is able to step back. So you have that ability to. Whereas you said he was going into the Niners, right?
The Raiders.
The Raiders. Oh, going to the Raiders right there, like that. That's the
Yeah,
organization
yeah,
head, right? It's
exactly.
like you want to be with fucking Jerry Jones, like you know what I mean. Like the organization head alone is so involved in your process. So I mean that is a great opportunity. The head coach there for the Raiders who got hired, but at the end of the day, you have more autonomy with Washington. I think that's an opportunity for Washington to go ahead and pick up a guy because we all were
Mhm.
like, what does Washington do? Do they go with Sam? What's his name? Sam something, right? Do they go with Sam? Because we've never
Oh yeah.
seen what type of quarterback he's not bad. He definitely could be a
No.
great backup. He's not terrible. Sam
Mm-mm.
Howell, right? I think that's his name.
Yes.
Um,
Yep.
seeing Sam Howell like ball out, we were all like, all right, do they stick with Sam Howell? Do they go get someone else? Either way, number two pick, because who is number one?
The Bears.
The Bears are number one. The
There's
Bears are in a
so
position.
much shit. So that's the thing. Like Bears are in a position to where they can either keep Justin Fields, they could
Yeah,
draft Caleb Williams, or look, if Washington throws everything their way, if they throw 3 first-round picks, including the second, if they throw like say they throw Terry McLaurin in as a player, and the Bears now pick at 2, Washington can go get Caleb Williams and just have again Cliff Kingsbury has that relationship with him.
I would go get Penix.
Yeah, yeah, you could do that.
Just fuck it. Yeah, if
The
I'm the
Bears have
Bears.
I think the ninth or 10th pick too. So yeah,
Yeah,
you're right. They could get if you trade back to the 2, you can get Marvin Harrison Jr. at the 2 and then Penix.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I think a lot of the talk has been like, okay, do the Bears trade that pick? I don't think there's a shot in hell.
No,
And the reason for it, and I've heard this before, kind of like in a joking manner, but honestly, kind of not. The two biggest motivational factors for people are money and fear. You'd be surprised how far you can take your limitations if you're in fear losing your job, losing your house. Fuck man, in a dire situation, hopefully none of us see like losing like a family member or a friend. Like you're gonna do whatever you can and push your limitations. I
but the
take it back a
Bears
couple
fear
of
is
years.
what?
The Bears' fear is trading that number one pick, essentially trading Caleb Williams and having Caleb Williams be what everybody's cracking him up to be. Because
Yeah,
if you remember a few years ago, and this was a little bit different, but the Bears drafted Mitch Trubisky at like pick 2 or 3. Patrick Mahomes went 10 or 11 overall.
yeah.
So forever, the Bears are going to be linked to missing on Mahomes. Now
But
that's a little
also,
different.
the Bears are linked to. We got another motherfucker in love that's sitting on the sideline right now. So we got to do
Exactly.
something about love.
Exactly. You're connected, right?
Yeah,
So you have this guy in Caleb Williams who, I mean, shit, man, he's been the guy. Like even I remember a few years ago when Lincoln Riley, right, arguably the biggest name next to Nick Saban in college football coaching, left to go to USC, and it was like half the story was him going to USC, this major brand, and half of it was, oh fuck, he's bringing that kid Caleb Williams with him. Like that was half the story. And then for the past 2 years, it's just going to be, well, whenever he decides to come out, he'll be number one.
hmm
That's all it's been. So can you imagine the fear of the Bears, number
yeah,
one, Number two, say they keep Justin Fields, or they draft Drake May or Jaden Daniels with the number 2 overall pick. The fear and the pressure on those quarterbacks
Yeah.
to outplay Caleb Williams the rest of his career, because that's who you're going to be compared to then.
Yeah.
If you look at the Bears, I think you have to be deathly afraid if you take Washington's deal and they get Caleb Williams and he goes out and has like a CJ Stroud year, and you're the Bears and you do whatever you do and you miss the playoffs and you look bad again, they're cleaning house. That GM's
Yeah.
gone, the coach is gone, like everyone involved is like, yo, fuck you. We had this kid in our back pocket
Yeah.
and you traded him away. So I really don't think Washington could put together a deal big enough for the Bears to accept.
For the fan base alone, like being scared, they're more
Oh my
afraid
God,
of the
dude.
fan base alone. Like you'll start seeing just people just taking their fucking heads off because they're just like, I can't believe we did it to ourselves again. Regardless, you just have to do it.
And we like Justin Fields. I think they do too.
Yeah,
But man, if this
you're
kid,
in a
if this
position.
kid is like just some of what people are saying he's going to be, like he's going to be
Yeah,
a perennial Pro Bowl quarterback. Like you just can't
yeah.
pass up a prospect like this. Because look,
See,
if you pick him and he turns out to be a bust, people are going to be like, "Fuck, man, that sucks." But
yeah.
nobody in the world would pass him. You know what I mean?
I think this is a year of the Cowboys. We sneak something in there too. Like Jared Jones is known to sneak
Bro,
a little something there.
that's just you
Don't worry.
hoping. For a quarterback?
Don't worry. Yeah, I think we sneak it. Not draft pick. I think that it'd be a perfect opportunity for us to take Fields or take a like to trade something already in the league and get a quarterback. We have to
You
at this
did
point.
already. You did, bro.
No,
You got Trey Lance. That's your guy now.
no,
Nope.
we need something else. Give me Fields because
Nope.
I don't know if you've seen Jerry Jones has been talking a little bit messy on Dak Prescott. He hasn't been giving him that hope like he did earlier in the season. Like he definitely is like a little bit off his train. So I think we
He
start
knows
seeing
those
some.
contract negotiations are coming up.
Fuck yeah, he knows he's gonna take whatever the fuck they give him. But
Fields
last
is
topic,
interesting, real quick, because I think now with Cliff Kingsbury leaving, I want to say the Raiders just hired the Bears offensive coordinator, the guy who's been working with Justin Fields.
yeah,
That'd be kind of tough if Fields go to the Raiders. I think that'd be
wow, to Vegas, that'd be fire. I could
yeah,
see him there. I could see him there more than anywhere else.
yeah. I feel like that and Atlanta has been the two
Atlanta, I'm about to
biggest.
say everyone's saying Atlanta too. I don't know.
But,
Just hey Fields, if you want to be on America's team, come play with us. You want to play the
bro, he
CD
doesn't want to.
land?
Bro, he's not going to play in Philly. He's not going to play.
Yeah, okay. They're sending your ass to fucking Brazil. You're not America's fucking team. We stay home, baby. We stay home, baby. We don't cowardly.
They're sending America's best to kick off the season in another country. Because look,
you know how you
they got America wrapped up. Now we're going to be Brazil's team too.
You let the runts go first and get killed off, and then the big boys come in next. All right, the important lives. But moving on, you brought this story of Tony Snell. I heard a little bit about it, but you said it's a weird deal going on in the NBA, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So I don't know who the fuck this guy is. I don't think anyone knows who it is besides this right now. Everything that's in the tabloids about this Tony Snell guy. But go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. So what people are gonna know him for is that meme that you'll get like the day before Christmas or like working a Friday when you're hungover. It's like, this is the effort you're gonna get from me. And Tony Snell played in a game. It's literally his box score of like 26 minutes played, not a single stat, not a rebound, not a steal, not a point. Like he was literally running cardio. That's all he was doing. So that's what anybody's going to know this dude for.
Yeah.
But he's been in the league for 9 years, hasn't played this year. And in the NBA, if you play 10 years plus, you're kind of grandfathered into their benefits program for yourself and your family for the rest of your career and even beyond your career when you retire. Right. So this past Friday was the deadline for him to be signed to a team in order to get his 10th year of service. Now, I'm sure this happens a good amount of time, but what makes this story a little unique is he has 2 kids that are autistic and need a little bit more health care than, I guess, the average family may. He didn't get signed. No team signed him. Here's the problem. You look at all the teams around the NBA, right? You could look at the team like the Pistons or the Spurs or fucking the Grizzlies who've just been banged up with injuries. Like, Malik, let me ask you, if you're an NBA franchise and you kind of see this story go on right now, he's not going to help a team. A championship team, a team that's making the playoffs, they're not going to sign him. He's not really going to help a team come off the bench. But if you're a bad team, like, why wouldn't you sign him to help him out? Like, why wouldn't you just let him ride the bench, get a few minutes, like, pick him up, give him the veteran minimum salary, cut some other bum that you have on the bench, and help this dude out?
Who gives a fuck? like this is a business. Like if you're not bringing nothing to my team, I'm not. I mean, there's so many heartfelt stories of everyone needing to help out their family. So I'm on the business side of it. I mean, it's business when you want to cut a player. Why would it be not business to add a player because of what they're? So I just looked up his earnings, right? His earnings
Mhm.
over time and his career. So he has. Make sure I'm on the right one. Yeah, Tony Snell. So in 2013, 2016, he made 2 million with the Bulls. 2017 and 2020 guaranteed at signing $44 million,
Mhm.
right?
So there's why you don't feel bad.
And then from there on, he's with the Blazers, retain. He made 1.5 and then he made 2.3. So either way, he's sitting pretty right now. Like,
Yeah,
and that was in the with his biggest contract came with the Bucks. Sure, their taxes
yeah.
aren't crazy with the Bucks. So I'm sorry, brother. Hey, it sounds good for Instagram and TikTok. That's all I could say.
Yeah.
It
And
sounds good
that's the
for
other
them.
thing, and that's the other thing too. So the new, I guess, wrinkle is kind of what you said. Like, look, man, it's not like you lost your job. It's not like, you were a middle class family that's like falling on hard times. Like there's a
Yeah,
video going around circulating right now. If you want to look up like Tony Snell on Twitter, the first thing will come up is his wife's video. I don't know when she took it, of being on the private plane, showing off all her handbags. There's like 10, 12 handbags in there that are fucking money. So
yeah.
it's kind of like, all right, man, like we can't really feel that bad for you. I think, look, good karma, sign the dude. If nothing else, like you're getting a veteran to help out the young players a little bit. I get it. But
Who the fuck is
look,
he? You when you bring in a guy that's a veteran, you want to be like, I need someone like I don't know, fucking Carmelo Anthony to just be a locker room guy. Who the fuck is
yeah.
he that the youngsters want to listen to him? Who is he? Like, you know what I mean? Also, my question is too, Liam. Like, so if he doesn't do it this year, let's just say he's trained, he comes back next year. Can he get it next year, or does it have to be consecutive?
I think it has to be consecutive. I
Oh,
would I would be
fuck.
hard pressed to believe it doesn't have to be if people were
Okay.
making this big of a deal about it,
Damn. So yeah, he's fucked.
So I think, yeah, I think now it's done.
Damn.
And
I
look, you
thought
know
about
what?
that after.
Honestly, like if not for him, like do it for his kids. Like I don't know in what capacity it is going
Man,
to
we got
help or hurt
44
them.
million, Brody.
All right, look, I'm not. I get what you're saying, but
I get it. I get
look,
it. I get
man,
it. I get the
there's
story.
like half the league right now are teams that would
Yeah.
struggle against a good college team. Like you're not hurting anybody bringing them on.
Yeah, but then guys in the locker room, no, you were only brought in here because of your kids. Like, we don't want you here, bro. Like, just come in here for a couple
Yeah,
days and get the fuck out of here. But like
and
that
then,
players know
but
that shit at the end of the day.
yeah, exactly. I mean, they know what
He's
it
not a
is, and
Patrick Beverly, where Patrick Beverly was like
no,
overseas fucking doing what he gotta do. You feel sorry for him. Like he's not one of those stories. This guy is he got his fucking bread, bro. Like, sorry, brother. Like now you have to get insurance like all of us. Fuck.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's not this is definitely a TikTok sentimental story right here.
yeah. It is.
That was
It is.
trending.
But we'll have to keep up with it because
Okay.
somebody else, I think Charles Barkley was saying, like again, like sign the dude. We'll have to keep up on it because I don't know if the commissioner is going to be maybe able to like nix that rule for him. I doubt he will. But again, I think if you see kind of a slow day in the offseason, don't be surprised if the NBA drops a story of like, no, we gave Tony Snell like the the
Oh,
exemption
yeah,
for
yeah,
it.
yeah, facts. Yeah, fuck, that's bullshit. Because then you have to open it up to everyone else in the past that didn't get it, so
Exactly.
that's that's
Exactly.
that's that's where the NBA was like, "No," or
And in
they'll
the
do it
future.
Yeah,
Like, if
exactly.
you're a guy that played 8 years, like 7
Mhm.
years, like, "Fuck, I was only 3 seasons away, like, why can't you just do it for me,"
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
Like, when does it
exactly.
end?
100%, brother. Any last words, Super Bowl weekend, anything like that?
No, like I said, look, come Sunday, I may change my mind fully, I'm starting to come around on the Niners, but I just can't go against Mahomes.
Yeah, honestly, let's just hope for a good game. That's all we hope for. That's all we wanted this whole time was a good game. We got a good national championships. This is as well. We'll talk about it next week. If it's a shitty game, why I like college football way more. But I'll say that for
Mm,
next week.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
But hey, guys, continue to support us. Make sure you go subscribe to the YouTube right now. Go subscribe. Go subscribe to the Tubeski. Make sure you go listen to us on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts as well. Check out all our different, everything we have. We have Trusted Gym. We have Trust Sports, and then we also have In Those We Trust, the podcast where we interview different guests that come on. So make sure you also go and follow us on Instagram at We Trust _ podcast and follow Liam on the Instagram at
Liam Stokes 11.
Trust Up Guys.
Thanks, Lee.